All right, welcome everyone to the Velasquez Vlog Show. This is your host, Jeffrey Velasquez. Today is January 25th, 2021. It is. Thank you very much, and thank you guys for being here tonight with me. Um, well, you know, um, First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone who follows the page, who follows the channel, who is supporting me in this big sociological project. So far, so good. Today, we're on our 17th episode of season one. Today, we're going to talk about patience and discipline. Um, and before I hit the topic, I want to thank all the first responders, military members, veterans, and reserve. Um, I also want to thank the medical staff and professors for chipping in society and distributing this what's it called? I just had that word in my head. Pretty much providing society the best way possible, because we need them. We need teachers, we need doctors, we need the military, we need the police, we need the firemen, we need all the homeland security personnel, border patrol, and all these agencies, that sacrifice their time, their health, their life to protect this nation, our constitution. So I'll leave it at that. You guys know that's what I do every time I do a podcast. That's the first thing I want to get out of the way. So thank you guys. Um, I want to just bring up some recent events, before I hit the main topic. So as many of you are aware, we have a new president in the White House. Um, we have different parties now controlling the Senate, the House, Congress, and the so everything is controlled by Democrats, right? We know that. We are aware of that. Um, also, you know, um, so congratulations to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on their victory. Um, you know, um, I guess it's time to start fulfilling promises, and um, I guess it's time for them to shine now. They been promising throughout their campaign that they were gonna do this, they were gonna do that. All right, so let's give them an opportunity to see if they can turn this around. Right. Um, we always have someone to blame. Now we don't have no one to blame. I mean, of course, they're always gonna be these individuals. They're gonna be always brought up to. To comment, I guess, in their defense, right? That they messed it up, they did the wrong thing. So now we have to, yeah, we know that happens in every administration. So what do you guys think about the transition? Do you guys think is the media gonna be biased now, or is gonna be unbiased like it was? Well, I think the media is biased in my opinion, but what do you guys think about that? I know when Trump won 4 years ago, I know the media was like, well, it's the worst day in America. It's a slap in the face for U.S. democracy and yada yada yada. So everything was negative, right, from the media when Trump won. But now that Biden won, pretty much he's hailed as a hero. So I think it's biased in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just not understanding what's going on, right? I think it's always been like that. But yeah, I wish them luck. Congratulations to them again. I hope they do great things. We the people, we need great things to happen. We need good results. We want things to be better, right? I mean, that was the whole point. The United States, the people of the United States voted Trump out. They didn't vote. They might not probably voted for Biden directly, but they voted him out. So now let's see what happens, right? Um, Now, COVID cases have been going up. At least that's what I hear in the media. They're spiked up. California's out of control. Yada yada yada. And then they are the ones that have the most restrictions, and I'm surprised they're the ones that have the most cases. That's a very interesting thing to observe. Um, what else? The stimulus checks. The stimulus checks. I hear that Democrats they want to approve it. They're all up for it. $1,400. I think that's what I heard last time. They're trying to approve 1,400 for families to receive. Hopefully next month we'll be able to see that money. If not next week, let's see. Yeah, next week is next month anyway. So, um, but yeah, so what do you think? What do you guys think about the stimulus checks? Do you guys think we need them? Do you guys think they'll help? Do you guys think that somehow, some way, maybe we're gonna pay it somehow? I think Biden is trying to increase taxes on certain individuals. So I won't be surprised if somehow, some way, we end up paying for it. But if we need it, we need it, right? It's like a loan if you think about it. It's like an emergency loan. If you need it now, you have to pay some kind of interest in the future, right? Or while you pay your payment. So nothing is free, as much as we want to see it that way, but it's not. Somehow, some way, it's gonna get paid. Um, you know, so those are some of the topics that some of the recent events that are going on that I wanted to bring up. So in case some people are not aware of what's going on, you guys can look into it. Of course, I can stay here all day and talk about every single little recent event, but you know, um, the NFL, it got interesting. Um, I don't want to talk about it because I know I'm gonna be here for a long time if I do. But I watched the games. I watched the games and I enjoyed them. Great games. I watched both the Buccaneers versus the Green Bay Packers, and then we had the Bills with the Kansas City. Yeah, great game. I expected more from the Bills. Um, I'm a little disappointed because I actually thought they were gonna actually fight, and I honestly thought they were gonna win it. With the other one, it was a tough call to make, honestly, because um, but statistically, I knew the Buccaneers were gonna get it because of how they've been playing against them during the season. So, but yeah, congratulations to those teams, and now we're gonna see them in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, that's all I have for recent events. Let's get to the topic. So, on my personal page, um, I posted that I wanted to talk about a correlation. Okay, so pretty much I posted, right, and I asked people, what if you got on my page? I put, do you guys believe there's a correlation between patience and discipline? So that's pretty much what the topic's going to be about today. Um, Patience and discipline. Do you guys believe there is a correlation? Do you guys think that, for example, let me put it, do you guys think that one has to do with the other? For example, if you're a patient person, do you think you're patient enough to maintain a discipline, like to build a discipline, or vice versa? Do you think you're disciplined enough to build patience, right? And what is the think? If so, in what way? If not, why not? Um, I'll give you my personal opinion on that. I'll give you my personal point of view. And this is just from life experience. I'm not going to go to Wikipedia. I'm not going to go to a dictionary. I'm not going to go to to any kind of book to give you a generic definition, right? This is just from life experience, from personal experience, right? And you guys will have your own experience about this as well. So, for example, I believe that there is a correlation, um, but I can also say that there is not a correlation. But I'm gonna stick to what I believe in and why I believe in it, right? So I think there is a correlation between patience and discipline because, and I'm gonna give you an example later. But because you gotta be patient to understand um, how discipline works. But at the same time, I believe that you have to be disciplined to be a patient individual. So it's all about what comes first, from my point of view. And I think you have to have discipline. I think discipline comes first before being patient, because discipline dictates the move you're gonna make. the attitude you're gonna face it with when it comes to whether it's a problem or whether it's a solution, or whether you're in a position of power or in need of power or in need of success. Of course, these traits, patience and discipline, is used towards success. I mean, why would you want to use patience and discipline to fail? No, of course not. This is all up. These two qualities, these two very important qualities in an individual's life, is to succeed, right? So you have to be patient to know when and how, and that's and those are the two main ones: the how and the when to make a move or to not make a move, right? Um, and the discipline is in how to execute the move when the time comes. Um, for example, I'm gonna give you this. Let's say you're in school, because I guess most people probably went to school at some point. So this is gonna be the example. You're in school, right? And you are in the middle of the semester, okay? Whether you're in college or in high school, or whether you went to college or you went to high school, you're in the middle of the semester, okay? And you being, I want to say maybe an average student, but you're at the midpoint of completing your requirements. Let's say for a high school or senior year, for a college student, let's just say any year, sophomore, freshman, senior, whatever, right? You're in the middle of the semester, okay? And you need A plus, or you need an A. You just say you need an A. What would you do um, to be able to get that A? Let's say you're being an average student from the beginning. Let's say you've been working, you had some personal distractions in your life, and you just haven't been able to be that perfect student. You haven't been able to get A's and B's, or you'll be getting C's and D's, right? Now, the patience comes it comes into when you need to realize that you can get better, and at the same time understanding that it will be hard, so you can apply your plan with a disciplinary attitude. What does that mean? That you're gonna fight all the way, right? So if you want that A at the end of the semester, you're gonna come up with a plan, right? You are not gonna be relaxed anymore. You're not gonna let those distractions get in your way. You're gonna try your best for those distractions not to interfere with your operation, which is that A, right? And let's say that you don't get an A. Let's say you get a B plus, or you know what? Let's say you didn't get an A, you got an A minus, all right? But at least you came out with a plan to make a comeback, right? And that's what discipline and patience come into place. If you don't have patience to execute discipline, you will give up quick. You have to have patience to understand that in order for you to get that A, you have to execute a um, a good plan. You have to study harder. You have to do extra credit. You have to talk to the professor. You need to talk to someone who might lead you that smarter than you in the class, at least in this subject, right? You gotta find every way possible to um, to be able to get that A, or at least get close to it, right? Because when you have the discipline to go for it, the best way possible, giving it your all, you become patient in the process, and it's easier said than done. But the only way you're gonna be able to understand patience is by going through the process. Um, Let me give you another example. Well, some actually, I'm gonna give you an example somebody gave me on my Facebook page. Somebody, a college friend brought this up. She said that to raise kids, you need patience, and you need patience to be able to discipline. I agree. You know, you gotta be patient to discipline the best way possible your kids, right? Because of course, I don't know, for every culture is different, but I know in the Hispanic culture, discipline is physical discipline for most times, right? When you're educated, when you understand that physical discipline does not really fix the problem all the way, for most people, in some people it works. Don't get me wrong, but when you have kids and they misbehave, or or you have all these kids and running around, you have too many kids, you don't know who did what, or you don't know how to keep up with all of them. It can drive you crazy. So you need to have the discipline, but you need to have the patience at the same time to be able to discipline them. So she brought up a very good topic, that she believes there is a correlation between patience and discipline, because I think they go hand in hand. I think another friend of mine, well, they go hand in hand because you got to be able to do one to do the other. That's why. So you need to be patient to discipline your kids. And once your kids are disciplined, that discipline can be applied from in their life. They can apply it in whether it's in how to treat others, sharing toys, cleaning their room, cleaning after themselves, showering, or whatever, right? So, and also in anything you do in life, in my opinion, not just school, not just you're not just raising your kids, also when it comes to getting a home, getting a car, getting a new job, maintaining a fucking job. So it requires a lot of patience for that, because let me ask you guys this. um what is discipline? From you just from don't go into the dictionary, don't go into Wikipedia, don't go to Google. What do you believe is discipline? What do you believe is patience? You know? And if you don't know that, that's okay. If you don't know these things, if you really don't, if you have an idea but you never applied it, or you don't have an idea what it is, it's okay to go to Google. It's okay to go to the dictionary and find out what it is, Ain't nothing wrong with that. But let's just say for the people that have an idea of what they are, um, how do we apply discipline? If we know what discipline is, how do we apply it? When do we apply it? Why do we apply it? Is it self-restraint when it comes to making bad decisions, or is it self-restraint to make the right decision, um, or to avoid making the wrong decisions? What about patience? How do we use patience? Do we use patience to understand people? Do we use patience to wait for the right moment, to do we need to be patient by staying in a certain job by a certain amount of time before we move on to the next job or move up to the next promotion? Can we be patient as human beings in society for other things as well? Like, for example, let's say you get into in a relationship, right? And you like this guy, you like this girl, and are you gonna be patient enough to deal with their, I guess, there's pros and cons and everything, right? Let's say with their deficiencies, or their like weaknesses. Well, weaknesses. Um, and if so, are you gonna be patient to wait for that day to come for them to get engaged with you or to get married with you? Or are you gonna or you're not gonna be patient, right? I mean, and let me tell you, patience and discipline, they go hand in hand when you want the same thing. When you want when you're gonna go all the way for that thing you have in mind. But patience, you can lose patience too in the process. Okay, so it's not just. eh, let's not get confused here. You can also lose patience if you wait, and nothing happens, right? But honestly, do I consider myself a patient person? I don't think I do. but I can be a patient person. That's the thing. I can be a patient person for the right reasons, for with the right people, in the right way, for the right purpose. You gotta have a purpose. I think that's what I forgot to mention. If you don't have no purpose, how can we have patience? How can we have discipline? What's the purpose of having discipline, right? What's the purpose of being patient? Why should I be patient? Why do I need to be disciplined, right? If we have no purpose, there's just no way that we can actually execute it with understanding, right? Um, so I think that um, that in anything you do in life requires those two things. And you might disagree. You might think, well, it's easy for you to say, I have this and that. Hey, we all have problems. I get it, and I know, like I said, it's easier said than done. But I'm speaking from my life experience for what I've been through, right? It hasn't been easy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It requires a lot of effort to have discipline and to have patience. I think I have. I think I'm okay with both. I'm not perfect. I do get impatient from time to time. Um, uh, well, last year it was a roller coaster. I think it was a test for me, especially at the end of the year. And I'm gonna give you guys this example, and you guys might actually be maybe some of you guys I'm probably being in the same situation, or probably not, right? But I was in the stocks. So I was into stocks last year, right? And you always think you made the right move. You think you were patient enough to wait for a certain stock to drop, right? You waited, you waited, you waited. Okay. You think you made the right choice by buying because you saw that thing dropped a lot. But then you notice that that thing dropped two more times from when you bought it. And then you wonder, like, oh man, why did I buy that stock? I should have waited. I should have waited. And then you beat yourself up, right? You beat yourself up because, dang, I wasn't patient enough. And so that's pretty much what happened with me. I bought this stock. It was called Ideonics. And that stock dropped from 4.75 to like $3. I said, you know what? It's perfect time to buy. I mean, it dropped almost $2. Why not? So I went all in. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went all in, and I know for people that know stocks, you never go all in, bro. You never want all your eggs in one basket. But you know what? I understand the formula of reward. With no risk, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So I was applying that to my plan. Of course, risk. Once you say risk, that means there's no perfection, there's no perfect plan, right? But it's a plan. So I waited months, I waited weeks, and nothing happened. An opportunity came for me to get into a business. And I had to get all my money out of the stocks, and I had to lose money. I was down, but when I took out my money, I was down like 17K. You know what I did once I sold it? I went and risked again on another stock. And I made like around 11, no, no, I want to say like 11 to 13 grand the same day, just like that. I made the bold move to sell my whole stock of Ideonics, and I risked it, and I sold it. Now, I had the discipline to hold that bitch. I was patient to hold that bitch, but I had another operation on the way, and I had to have the discipline to make a move. I had to believe that my move was worth it. And I risked again with this other stock, and I made 11 to 13K that same day. But I had to be fast. I had to have the discipline not to be scared to put the whole thing, and I had to have the discipline to get it out before it dropped. So, and I had to be patient to wait for the right moment. Of course, there is no right moment on the goddamn stock market, because when you think you're the right moment, you're not in the right moment. You could be when you think you're right, you could be wrong, or when you're wrong, you could be right. You never know, because sometimes I sold a stock just to be safe, and then that shit goes up uh, 15% more up. But hey, at least you got some profit, right? So you can't feel bad about that. Yeah, you beat yourself up no matter what happens, whether you lose or whether you didn't win enough, right? But you gotta have the discipline, not just courage, but you have to have the discipline to make the move. Because if you scare all the time, then you'll never understand, you'll never be able to experience um the reason behind being disciplined. So I had the discipline to wait, hold, and I had to have the courage to get out. And yeah, I heard it, but you know what? After that, I got into then I executed another plan that allowed me to win. I want to say maybe like extra 2K. I want to say extra 2K. Yeah. And I did it with Ethereum. I deal with Ethereum. I play everything on Ethereum. As soon as I got $1,000 profit, I got out. As soon as he went down, I went in again, and that's how I was able to recover as much as possible. I went. Don't get me wrong. I still got out with a $5,000 loss. But 5,000 was was better than a set. It was like 5,000. Yeah, I think it was like 5,000. A $5,000 loss is better than a $70,000 loss. So I fought. I fought all the way. Okay. I did not get that. I didn't recover all my money, right? I didn't get that A plus I was aiming for, but at least I got a B or a B plus or whatever, right? So I fought. I fought to the end. And then the stock goes up. That bitch goes up by the end of the week. I pull it out on Monday. On Friday, it was fucking three something. I was so pissed. But on that Friday, I had to go and sign this contract. I had to go and talk to these people that needed my money for the investment. So I had no choice. I had to do it. You know. And but now and then after I signed the contract, I had a little bit money left over, and I used it to deal with crypto. Then I went to the crypto currency, and then I recover. I want to say 3 grand. I recovered 3 grand, so I'm still down 2K, but I recovered 3 grand from the 5 grand I was losing. So now I'm like, okay, you know, um, just 2 more grand to go, and then I'll break even. And I didn't lose no money at all last year, but I could have earned so much money. Like right now, if I would have pulled out my money right now, I think I would be sitting at almost double my investment. But what I'm saying is that you don't have to be perfect to be able to understand when you have to apply discipline or to be patient. Okay. But what I'm saying is that when you apply those two things, most likely you will succeed. Um, you know, um, and one of the things I want to ask you guys is when you ask yourself, is that guy disciplined? Is that girl disciplined? Is that guy patient? Is she patient? Can we see patience? Can we see discipline on an individual? How do we see it? I'll give you a hint. Success. Okay. Success. And everybody has different types of success. Okay. We cannot compare everyone's success at the same level because everybody has a different path. For instance, let's say you have a friend that, oh man, since he was in high school, he was a smart guy. He always got good grades. He always got all the girls. He always, he had a car when he was 16, so he had all his shit together from high school, right? And then he goes to college, perfect, honors, graduated in 4 years, got the good job, got their best job of their life. But you have to understand that person had to have some kind of discipline to not lose track, to not lose focus, to not lose sight of what they wanted. And they needed to be patient, right? Because we can all get impatient when things get tough, right? Oh man, fucking grades, man. Fucking it's the middle of the semester, man. I'd rather go and work overtime to pay my bills than to get to study extra time. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we have priorities. That's a different story. Okay. If you have priorities, you man, you of course you're gonna pick the roof over your head than study for a test, right? I can agree with that. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that you cannot compare everyone's success with your success. For example, you probably had a different path than that guy. That guy probably had no responsibilities. His parents probably paid for his school. He probably paid for school. Who knows? Or he probably got in debt. He probably got loans from the government, right? And that's how he's able to keep up with his bills, keep up with his financial expenses, and until he graduated, right? Or he probably had a part-time job that helped out. And of course, he was probably fucking smart too, right? He probably was just a natural bookworm. Who knows, right? But whatever the cause may be, without discipline, without focus, without patience, he would have never been able to go through all that process to get to get where he had gotten, right, in his life. So um so how do we see it? For example, when you meet somebody, how do you know they're patient or disciplined? And it's hard to say when you first see when you first see him. It's hard to tell. But when they become your friend, when you get to know them, when you get to know their history, you're gonna be able to tell um, the lifestyle they have, the accomplishments they have accomplished, and of course, accomplishments can do two things. It can attract a successful people, and it can push away unsuccessful people, right? um, and of course, it can also attract people who want to be in your life, and it can also push away people that hate your life, because they don't have it, right? So but these people don't understand that it takes discipline and patience to get to that spot in your life, to get in that place in your life. Or you got a nice car, shit, let's say, you have a friend that drives a Porsche or an Audi or a Mercedes, right? And you driving a fucking 99 fucking Honda Corolla, I mean Toyota Corolla, right? But it doesn't mean that you're not successful. That means your priorities are somewhere else, I mean, having a nice car for some people is a success because they never had that in their life. Your success might be something else. Might be having a good job. Might be maintaining a healthy lifestyle in your home. With your family. Um, so everybody has a different definition, a different I guess a goal of success, right? Or you have a nice home, and you live in a fucking shitty apartment, right? Priorities, it's what it's what you want. It's what you can afford. But the thing is that anyone can do it. Anyone can be patient and disciplined if they believe in it. If they believe that if they can be patient enough to understand discipline, or be disciplined enough to understand patience, I think you can do great things. But you have to have the discipline to prioritize what you want to do. You have to be disciplined enough to sacrifice. If you can sacrifice, how can you ever change? How can you ever get better? Um, if you don't have the discipline and you're successful, how can you keep being successful? How can you maintain success? How can you protect your success? How can you um, um, yeah, how can you protect it? How can you stay on top, in other words, if you have no discipline, but patience is important because there's going to be hard times when you're successful, or when you're not successful and you want to be successful. When times get hard, that's where patience needs to come in place. Patience is going to be your key so you don't quit. You have to be patient and disciplined at those times, because if you're patient to know that if you keep fighting, you'll get to your destination, or you'll get to your goal, then you're gonna have the discipline to stay on the path and not, quit. So so I think there is a correlation in anything you do between patience and discipline. um but also, I want you guys to understand that I do understand that there are disruptive factors that can affect discipline and patience, um, in a negative way. And this is where I get into the psychological and I want to say physical, but more like, well, physical, psychological, emotional, mental, right? Um, Disruptive factors, right? Let's say, for example, not everybody's a bookworm. Not everybody's an athlete. Not everybody's a genetic freak. So whatever, so the last in anything you do, whether it's you want to lose weight, whether it's you want to finish school, whether it's you want a nice home, kill me. Whether it's you want to join the military service, you want to be an officer, you want to have a good job, you want to accomplish something, whatever the fuck is that you want to do. Okay, you have to understand your weaknesses. And those are the disruptive factors I'm talking about. What problems do you have right now that will not allow you to get there? What am I? How do I think? How do I feel? How do I see what I want? Is it for fun and sport, or is it because I really, really want it, or is it because I'm trying to prove someone something else? I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're trying to prove somebody something, but you're not trying to prove it for yourself, or if you really don't want it for you because you want it, it's not gonna end well. You have to be able to uh, you have to be able to love what you're about to do. You're gonna have to be able to feel proud of the moment. You want to be proud of what you're about to accomplish. If you're doing it for somebody else, you might disappoint them when you succeed, and that's the hard part. So make sure that when you do something and you accomplish it, do it for you first. You know, because I'm gonna let you know right now, when you're successful, when you accomplish things in life, a lot of people are gonna hate on you. They, yeah, they're great things. Yeah, they're gonna be good things that you accomplish. But you know what? No, not everybody's gonna be happy with you. Some people are gonna be jealous. Some people are gonna envy that they can't do it and you can. And it sucks. And the world shouldn't be like that. But even your friends can be like that. You can lose friends. But you can also get new friends, better friends, right? So, but yeah, man. So there's disruptive factors. I'm talking about, like, okay, if you have like a mental problem, if you have like an emotional problem or a traumatic event that caused like a mental trauma or an emotional psychological trauma, right? Those are disruptive factors that can make things harder for you to be patient and have discipline, right? And that's when I recommend you see someone, a specialist, like a counselor, a psychologist, or somebody that can point out your weaknesses. Because once you know your weaknesses, you're gonna be able to handle your, how can I say this? Your fight, your battle, right? Your process. If you're in the process to finish your degree, if you're in the process to get that job, if you're in the process to get physically fit, if you're in the process to get well, to get along with your family again, right? Whatever the case might be, if you know your weaknesses and your strengths, it'll be easier for you to navigate um, through the path, because sometimes we get stubborn. Sometimes we don't want to admit we have a weakness. Sometimes we do not want to admit that we have a deficiency, and uh, and those weaknesses can impact our way to success, and it can impact the way we want to be disciplined and the way we need to be patient. So if we can't be patient because I have ADD, shit, I have ADD too, you know. But if you can't see those weaknesses and you can't treat them, or you can't handle them, or you can't control them, they'll never go away. But if you can control them, okay, just control them just to the point where you can actually move forward. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be, they're not gonna have to go away forever. It's okay, you can have them. And we all have some fucking problems, okay? Whether you think you're normal, whether you think you're perfect, whether you think your shit don't stink, let me tell you, we all have something, okay? We all have a fucking problem, whether it's emotional, psychological, mental, an academic witness, a physical. weakness, whatever it might be. We all have a deficiency. So don't think that you're perfect, okay? And you don't have to listen to this fucking podcast, okay? Well, anyways, it's not about the podcast, but you know what I'm trying to say. We all have a, whether you're successful, whether you have all the money in the world, whether you have your dream car, we all have a deficiency, okay? So, but if we are trying to get somewhere and we understand that that's causing us a delay or slowing us down, let's fix that. Let's adjust it. Let's repair some of that so we can move forward a little bit more. It's like a squeaky wheel. It gets it doesn't move fast. It doesn't move at ease, right? So it's always squeaking, rusty. So it's hard. It doesn't roll as much. But when you put that grease in it, or that WD-40 on it, it begins to roll smoother, faster, and then you realize like you're rolling better now. You're rolling better, and it rolls better, and the wheel rolls better until you get there to that destination, right? Um, so that's how disruptive factors can affect your discipline and your patience. Okay. Um, how can they help you in a positive way? Let's say you have disruptive factors, and how once you fix them, or let's say you don't have disruptive factors, but let's say let's just say you just don't have motivation, right? Let's say you just don't have self-esteem, right? You just lack self-esteem, you don't have motivation, you don't have a purpose. Why? Well, let's find a purpose. Why do we need to do that? Why do we need to have discipline and patience to accomplish something? Do I want a girlfriend? Do I want a fucking house? Do I want a car? Do I want a nice job? I'm referring to these things over and over again because these are things we all go through in life. Whether you're poor or rich, or do I want to save $100,000? I want to save $10,000 by this year. Just an example, right? What are factors that are gonna help me in a positive way to get there? I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you go to the gym, if you have a physical routine, if you have a healthy um, family environment, if you have a good health, if you have if you can have a stable job, if you have stable income, and you have no credit issues, and if you have, let's say, a good girlfriend, who supports you and who loves you and who wants you to be better, and you're a fighter, and you're somebody who wants something in life, that's gonna encourage you to fight. That's gonna encourage you to keep going forward. Or if you have kids, and you want to be a good father, a good mother, you want to be a good parent, what are things that are gonna take me there? What's the motivation? What's gonna inspire me to start to start appreciating the little things that I need to have that extra push to be patient and disciplined, to believe in what I want to do, right? So um, there are also positive things, but positive factors that can actually influence the outcome of your success. And of course, keeping a patient level and a discipline level, right? Nothing is perfect. Patient levels are never perfect. Discipline levels are never perfect. But I believe that if you try, that if you change those things that need to be changed, I think you do better. I think you will get better. I mean, there's just no way around it. I mean, how can I mean, if you know you fix something, most likely it's gonna get better. But if you still stay the same and you don't try and you still, you know, uh, I don't want to say a low life, but if let's just say, you're just, I don't want to say a loser either. I don't want to say a failure either. Look, I don't know how else to put it, but just say they're not making it. Okay. If you're just not making it and you're trying your hardest, maybe you need to change something. Okay. Just change it and see what happens. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Scary money make no money, right? So don't be scared to be great. Don't be scared to change your routine to get somewhere else, you know. um, you're already not in a place where you want to be. So I think that if you change something, it might get you closer to where you want to be or to have what you want, what you're kind of looking for, right? So change is not bad at all, especially when things ain't working out, especially when things ain't working out for you. And yeah, of course, some people are gonna disagree with my point of view. Some people will agree. Some people are just not gonna give a fuck because they're doing so good in life, you know, that they have their own plan, they have their life figured out. But for us that don't have it figured out, these are things we need to think about, because at the end of the day, we are the ones that are looking out for ourselves. Nobody's gonna come here and pay our bills. Nobody's gonna come here and save our marriage or save our relationship or raise our kids, right? I mean, that's the last thing you want. Just imagine if somebody came to do it, you know, how would the fuck would you look, right? Oh man, I hope YouTube doesn't get me for cursing. You know, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I'm supposed to start getting paid for like views and shit. So oh, I just can't help it. Wow, I just can't help it. I'm trying to be professional here, which I am. It just, oh man, it's I'm fighting. I'm fighting. Believe me, that's discipline, right? Discipline, right there. Um, but yeah, so if other people can do it, you can too. And let me tell you, one of the most inspiring things that I saw in college, and it might not be inspiring to you, but it was to me because I complained. I hated school. I saw very disabled people going to school, like people on wheelchairs, people on like mechanical wheelchairs that they had no legs, or people who didn't have arms, or blinded people. I saw all kinds of disabled people, disabled students on campus, and I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's got no hands. They don't got all their hands. They don't got all their legs. They don't have a sight, and they're still trying to get their education. And I'm like, oh hell no, I bet. Oh wow. I'm like, oh no, I can't quit. I can't quit because if they're able to fight, if they're able to stay in the fight, so can I. Especially if I have both my hands, both my eyes, and both my legs, both my arms, both my ears. So if I have all these physical, um, I guess physical, um, parts, of my body, then I'm not. What excuse do I have? You know. So if their physical, um, if their physical disabilities is not an excuse for them, you know, then why should I make excuses? Because I'm physically fine. Yeah, I mean, I got pain and stuff, but until I tell you is when you see, is when you know. So no, and I said no, I'm not gonna quit. If they can do it, I can do it, and that's what inspired me to stay in school. Things like that, or also seeing that um, that other people could do it too. Why can what why can I do it? Yeah, I had a disadvantage. I'm not book smart, I'm not. I didn't like. I wasn't going to school, to like to enjoy it. It was a challenge, and nobody enjoys challenges until they make it, right? But um, but I'm glad that I stick to it. I had the patience to believe that every semester counted, that every week counted, that every month counted, that it was gonna be over sooner or later. That it wasn't that the fight was not gonna last forever. And I'm glad I didn't quit. I'm glad that I didn't give up, because I gave up many times. Sometimes I dropped out. There are gonna be times where you're gonna drop out too. There are gonna be times where you're gonna want to quit. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy. So, but I'm just saying that when it gets hard is when you have to be patient. And when you become patient, you have to have the discipline to to execute your plan. Um, Whether it works or not, just give it your all. Don't quit. Uh, Everybody struggles at some point in their life. Some of us struggle most of our life. Depends. If you get smarter sooner or later, the sooner you get smarter, the sooner you sharpen yourself, your battles will become easier. I'm not saying you're not gonna have battles every now and then. I'm not saying you're not gonna have things to fight every now and then, but you get used to it and it doesn't become hard anymore. It just becomes another day. It just becomes another operation. It just becomes another goal. Um, so I want to thank all the audience, all the people that are supporting me. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, following me on Facebook. Um, I don't know how else but to thank you, but to say thank you. Um, you know, Without you guys, none of this would be possible. I enjoy this. When people ask me why do I do it, the truth is that I do this too. I enjoy it. Second, I want to motivate people. I want to encourage and I want to inspire people to follow what they want to do. Um, a lot of people that see me for the first time, they probably don't know who I am, and they probably have no idea what I've been through to get where I am today, or the story or my story behind everything I do. Um, but that's my goal is to inspire people, motivate people, um, from any culture, from any background, um, and that's it. That's all. I don't want fame. I don't want that type of attention. Um, that's unnecessary. If it comes with it, then it comes with it. But fame is not something I'm looking for. Um, what else? Popularity. I'm not striving for. I'm not striving to be popular. I just want to make a difference in someone's life, and if I can make a difference on just one person's life, that's good enough for me. It starts with that first person, the first like, the first comment, the first view, right? So yeah, I'm ambitious. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I can't be a bit ambitious with this. I have to enjoy it. I have to, how can I say this? I have to be happy to help others. Like, I can't have that pressure that because I don't have a lot of views, or because I don't have a lot of followers, or because, oh shit, my podcast is gonna go downhill if I don't have a certain amount of subscribers. Go ahead and subscribe, by the way, while we're talking about that. But I'm not gonna get stressed over that. I work too. I have big things coming up this year, job wise. Um, Big investments coming, going for me in the future this year, and also, you know I want to enjoy time with my family. That's a priority. I want to be able to save money. I want to be able to sell my cars. I want to be able to stay fit, gain weight, um, continue working, fight my disability claims with the VA. I want to make sure that my home is stable and healthy. That my kids are doing great, that the baby's growing, that the oldest is getting good education. Yeah, I may make it sound like it's easy, but it's not. But all that requires discipline and patience to be able to do one at a time. Um, and of course, be there for my wife, and help her out whenever she needs help. So it's a lot of things, that I do, that of course I don't talk about, um, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I can still do my podcast, so I'm able to help people, encourage people, to follow their dreams, whatever they may be. Um, always hustle, always find a way to do something, always find something to do, always find an alternative. Maybe that's just the mentality of a marine, a mentality of a warrior, but But it has paid off here in the private sector, in the civilian world. I think without it, I think I'll probably be a little lost. I probably won't accomplish many things that I have accomplished. Um, I just hope that. Thank you, sis. Thank you. I appreciate the love. My sister says that I inspire her. Uh, so, but yeah, I'm here to help. Um, it doesn't bother me at all. Um, so I just want to say thank you for the people that believe in the show, that believe in the project. The Velasquez Vlog Show was an idea last year. I made it a reality. I fixed everything. Yeah, for the people that been following me, that been watching the vlogs, the podcast, the videos. You guys know that I have come a long way from last year. I changed the equipment, better production. The production is top notch right now. It's better. Yeah, I can. Let's give an applause to the show. Yeah, because it's been working hard. The show has been grinding hard, and it's here for a reason. And I want it to stay, and I think it's here to stay. I'm still looking for a co-host for the show. If you guys feel like if you guys feel like this is something you will enjoy doing, please hit me up. Please write me, message me, comment me, say you want to be part of the show. If you live around the Rosenberg, Houston, Richmond area, please let me know. I'll bring you in. I'll talk with you. Let's see how you do. But if you love this, um, I guess sociology, social stuff, this subject, just or podcasting in general, and you feel like you can be a good asset to the team, I'll bring you in without hesitating. um but yeah, I'm still looking for that co-host. Anyways, I want to wish happy birthday to all the people that had a birthday last week and this week. um What else? I also want to, congratulate all the people that are getting their homes, that are, getting married, shit, even if they're getting divorced. Congratulations. I know divorces are hard, but sometimes it's healthy for individuals. So I also want to say congratulations to the people that are graduating school, that have graduated school. I also want to say congratulations to the people that decided to make changes this year. New year, new me. I know that gets old, but you know what? If it works for you, apply it. I apply it, so it works for me. Okay, so thank you guys for listening to the Velasquez Vlog Show, and I'll see you guys next time.